Hello, ni hao, konnichiwa. So today I thought I'd talk about the DIY digital revolution and how I've been able to pursue a kind of part-time music career recently, and how back in the 90s when I was playing in an original band, it was really difficult. So back in the 90s in my old band, which was called Rhombic Void, we loved playing music. We wrote 12 songs. We did kind of mixture of genres with grunge and funk. We played around pubs in Sydney. And we mainly did it for fun and passion. We weren't that serious about trying to make it professionally, but I was quite keen, and we played, we wrote and were able to perform 12 songs and made a demo. So back then, to really become professional, you needed to get signed to a label, because we just focused on the music, and even recording more than 4 tracks was quite a difficult enterprise. I did use a 4-track studio at one stage, a 4-track tape recording machine, which was a bit clumsy and wouldn't really be that impressive by these days, by standards today. But yeah, you needed to get signed, you needed to make a demo, which wasn't cheap, and you needed to send your demo of songs out to local indie record labels in the hope that they would choose you and promote you, and perhaps they would sign you and fund you to go and record an EP, and then you could try and get your songs on the radio, local radio airwaves. So back then it was tough. It was fun playing around in pubs, but now things have changed so much, and there's pros and cons to it. So it's a DIY revolution. So if you've got the time and the tenacity, you can do everything yourself. So for example, now I don't even need a label to get my music out there on Spotify, and to make a CD or what have you, or I don't bother making a CD. I just try to get it on streaming services. But now there are so many jobs that I'm doing as a DIY indie muso. So back in the 90s also, we didn't have any experience mixing our tracks. We weren't very good with that. We needed a professional audio engineer to record us in a studio, and then to mix everything and do all the EQing and compression. And then we would need a mastering engineer to master the tracks as well, and that would all have to be paid for. That wasn't cheap. So now, with the digital revolution, we literally can do everything. And with AI now, it's even easier. So for example, I've put up about 5 or 6 songs on Spotify now. So they were all written by me, and so I was the writer, and I was the guitarist, I was the arranger. I had to arrange and mix everything in a digital audio workstation, which is like taking a big mixing desk and putting it into your computer. So back in the 90s, would have relied on a mixer in a professional studio to do that. So now you can do it in your laptop, which is quite amazing. And you can, but the thing is, you have to learn everything. You have to learn about how to EQ, how to not let your mix be muddy, how to arrange as well. It's, you want to arrange things, have all the instruments in the right place, have counter melodies and all that. And then you want to mix it properly and EQ it properly. You want to be able to compress it so it can stand out. It doesn't sound, it sounds punchy. And then you need to master it so it can compete with professional tracks, which has taken me years to kind of learn on the side. I've just done it as a hobby, but it's taken me years to learn that kind of stuff. And I'm still not great, but I can get by, and I enjoy it as well. Yeah, so you need to master it, and AI can help with mastering now. I have used AI, but I prefer to still do it myself, because I think you've got to get a good mix of your song first and have it well balanced, and then it's easy to master it. If you have a bad mix, then it's still hard to master, and I think AI will still have trouble getting a good sound if you don't have a good mix just to begin with. And I'm performing, so I'm doing all these different roles as well that in a more professional setting is all kind of done by different people and specialized. But so now I'm doing everything from writing to performing to arranging, mixing, mastering, and now even marketing on social media. So back in the 90s, we didn't have social media. So I suppose what we did to promote music was in your local city, when you had a concert, you would string up posters on telegraph poles and stuff. Often it wasn't legal. You weren't supposed to. But yeah, that was one way to get your name out, or get your name in local indie rags. So these days it's all on social media. I suppose you can advertise and pay for advertising on Facebook, but I haven't tried that. I might try that later. And now you do your own admin. You be your own label, so you don't need to go through a label. You join a performing rights association, and you can get royalties from writing tracks that are played on the airwaves or played on the internet. You can be your own distributor. So normally a label would do all the distribution for you, but now you can do that through distribution platforms like DistroKid, Amazon, Amazon CD Baby, CD Baby and Ditto, and I think a lot of them are doing it now. So it's a brave new world, and it's fun doing everything, but obviously you can't compete with a professional team, and professional artists and pop stars will have teams behind them and great marketing budgets. But it's fun just to get out there and learn about all these things, and then maybe later, if you build up some kind of following, you can delegate and pay for some of these services. And the downside is that you have less time just to do music. Although I'm doing all different facets of music, but I have less time to specialize on just songwriting or on just playing guitar, what have you. But on the plus side, I have control over the whole, the whole process. And so I can kind of develop things as I like. I can go at my own pace. And so that's my experience in trying to develop a part-time music career, and learning about the digital revolution and all the different things you're doing. So I'm learning so much. You have to learn about marketing, but now it's even easier with AI, where you can just look up on Gemini or on ChatGPT and find the principles and see what works and get some good advice. Even for cover art, I'm using AI for cover art, and I've done the basic design myself, the basic template. So, I'm going to see how that goes. I will be busy over the next 3 months. I'm doing this film course, and I'll be focusing on making a short film. So I won't have so much time for music, but after that I will get back into writing more tracks and building up my repertoire, and perhaps doing some open mic nights and stuff like that. So for anyone who's been following my adventures in music this year, thank you very much, and I will probably not post for another couple of months, and then I will give another updates. I may do a stream here and there as well. All right, thanks for following. I'll see you around.